Bienvenidos a Common Ground Podcast. Yo soy Sara y este es el episodio 5. America's Dark Incentive, Violence Rewarded, Families Torn Apart. Hoy estaremos profundizando en uno de los aspectos más disturbantes de nuestro sistema inmigratorio: cómo nuestras leyes incentivan activamente las denuncias falsas de violencia doméstica mientras destrozan a familias honestas que se niegan a mentir. Before we get into today's segments, I want to set the stage.
Under current U.S. immigration law, if you overstay your visa for more than 180 days, you face what's called the 10-year bar. You're banned from returning to the United States for 10 years. But there's an exception. If you can claim domestic violence under something called VAWA, the Violence Against Women Act, you can skip that penalty entirely. Now, VAWA was created with good intentions to protect genuine victims of domestic violence. But what happens when immigration attorneys start telling clients that the only way to avoid the 10-year bar is to fabricate abuse allegations? That's exactly what we're seeing, and it's destroying families across America. Let's start with segment 1, Darren's letter. We recently received a powerful letter from a listener named Darren, and with his permission, we want to share part of his story. Darren, if you're listening, thank you for your courage in speaking out. Darren writes, "When my wife overstayed her visa, we consulted with multiple immigration attorneys. Every single one told us the same thing. The only way to avoid the 10-year bar was for her to file a VAWA petition claiming I had abused her. They said it didn't matter if it wasn't true, that's just how the system works." Think about that for a moment. Immigration lawyers, officers of the court, were openly advising a couple to commit perjury, to file false police reports, to lie under oath to federal authorities, and they were doing it because that's the only path our broken system provides. Darren continues, "We refused. We wouldn't lie. We wouldn't destroy my reputation, and we wouldn't contribute to a system that trivializes real domestic violence. So my wife was forced to leave the country. We've been separated for 3 years now, and we still have 7 more years to go before she can even apply to return." This is the perverse incentive structure we've created. Honest families, like Darren's family, are punished with a decade of separation, while those willing to lie get rewarded with legal status. We're literally incentivizing perjury and false accusations while punishing integrity. Moving to segment 2, the smuggler label. Here's another twisted aspect of this system. When parents try to keep their families together by bringing their children with them during immigration processes, they can be labeled as smugglers under federal law. That's right, a mother who doesn't want to be separated from her child can be charged with human smuggling. A father who refuses to abandon his family becomes a federal criminal. But someone who files false domestic violence allegations, they get a path to citizenship. We've created a system where keeping your family together makes you a smuggler, but breaking up someone else's family with false accusations makes you a victim worthy of protection. The moral inversion here is staggering. Segment 3, double standards and selective advocacy. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, the glaring hypocrisy in how different groups are treated under these same laws. When wealthy immigrants overstay visas, tax executives, investors, celebrities, do we see the same rigid enforcement of the 10-year bar? Of course not. They have expensive lawyers who find other pathways. They have political connections. They have resources to navigate the system without resorting to false allegations. But working-class families, like Darren's, they get told by multiple attorneys that perjury is their only option. This is a two-tiered justice system where your economic status determines whether you have to destroy someone's life to save your immigration case. And where are the advocacy groups? Where are the organizations that claim to fight for immigrant rights? They're strangely silent about families like Darren's, families torn apart because they refuse to participate in this corrupt system. Apparently, advocating for honest immigrants isn't as politically convenient as defending those who game the system. Segment 4. The deafening silence from Washington. Perhaps the most frustrating aspect of this entire crisis is the complete silence from our elected officials. Republicans talk tough about immigration enforcement, but they won't address the perverse incentives in the system that encourage false accusations. Democrats claim to support immigrant families, but they refuse to acknowledge that the current system is destroying honest families while rewarding dishonest ones. Both parties are content to let this moral disaster continue because actually fixing it would require admitting the system is fundamentally broken. Meanwhile, families are being destroyed. Men are having their reputations ruined by false accusations. Children are growing up without parents, and the system just keeps grinding forward, rewarding abuse and punishing honesty. Segment 5. What this means for America. This isn't just about immigration policy. This is about the kind of country we're becoming. When our legal system incentivizes lying and punishes truth-telling, when it rewards those who destroy families and punishes those who try to preserve them, we're not just failing immigrants, we're failing ourselves. Every false domestic violence allegation filed to game the immigration system makes it harder for real victims to be believed. Every family torn apart by these perverse incentives weakens the social fabric of our communities. Every time we reward dishonesty over integrity, we corrode the foundations of justice itself. This is bigger than any one family's story, as heartbreaking as Darren's situation is. This is about whether America will be a country that rewards honesty or one that incentivizes corruption. Right now, we're failing that test badly. So what can we do? First, we need to demand that Congress address these perverse incentives. The 10-year bar should be reformed to provide legitimate pathways for honest families, not just those willing to file false abuse allegations. Second, we need to hold immigration attorneys accountable. Any lawyer advising clients to commit perjury should face professional sanctions. The legal profession cannot be complicit in this system of institutionalized corruption. Third, we need to shine a light on these stories. Families like Darren's deserve to be heard. Their sacrifice, their refusal to participate in a corrupt system, even at tremendous personal cost, represents the best of American values. We cannot let their voices be silenced.
Share this episode. Tell these stories. Contact your representatives. Demand that they address this crisis. Because if we don't act, we're complicit in a system that rewards violence and punishes virtue. This has been Common Ground Podcast. I'm Sarah, along with Michael. Until next time, keep fighting for truth and justice, even when the system rewards neither. And remember, in a world that incentivizes lying, telling the truth becomes a revolutionary act. Don't let them break you. Keep fighting.
You are